And welcome everybody back here in the Phantom Zone. It is I, Mr. General Zod, and tonight's a weird night because tonight I am broadcasting on a Thursday night. Not my normal grab bag of things, but thanks to the potential for more shutdowns, factory life is not doing good. So here I am spending my time with you fine folks across the YouTube verse. What up, Lemon Pie? Good to see you here. Uh, you know, Before we get started, I'd like to let all of you fine people know that if you missed it, I did a quite possibly one of my most successful streams that I've had in a while with Stevie J Reviews, and we talked about the Johnny Depp situation, which happens to be my first topic tonight. And it was a really great thing to do. So, the Midnight Crew is being the Midnight Crew and running behind because it's a Thursday, and normally I do this on a Friday. So, you guys get to listen to the soothing sounds of General Zod before I have my counterbalances here. So, anyways, welcome everybody. Tonight I'm going to be tackling a couple of things with Zack Snyder, things with the MCU, things with Johnny Depp. I got a bunch of great and wonderful topics that I am here to discuss, and it's going to just be a really fun time because a lot has happened, a lot having to do with this Johnny Depp situation, a lot having to do with the MCU, a lot having to do with this just wonderful Snyder cut, and more stuff that seems to be piling on a 4-hour miniseries, which I'm going to break down and talk about all of this stuff with you folks because some of it's funny, some of it's disheartening. All of it makes for a great news segment. So, tonight, my first topic is going to be about what I've been covering, what I've been talking about with this Johnny Depp situation. I've done a couple of videos, definitely check them out after the stream, but I've done some videos, and a couple of them were on Amber Heard and her reaction. And now I want to cover the media's reaction because the media boggles me. And it's been interesting because in the article that I'm going to present to you guys, there's a question I posed in my Amber Heard video, and it's kind of eerie that now it would be asked after I did the video. But, I'm going to put the tinfoil hat away, take out the conspiracies and just say that the first thing that I find odd about this whole thing is that they are counting this victory in the UK from a clearly corrupt newspaper, a rag of a magazine that's been irrelevant for years, along with various other publications. They are saying that this is a loss, and they're propping this up like Amber Heard is the one who gets this victory, or more importantly, that this is the beginning of the end of the downfall. First off, the biggest thing that mystifies me about this whole situation, the biggest thing that mystifies me is how we are calling this a win, where we've clearly highlighted and press releases have highlighted that this was not a victory for Amber Heard or for Johnny Depp against Amber Heard. This is a victory for the media. Okay, I can understand media outlets hyping it up like, look at us, we're so relevant, we're still popular, we still have pull. That part I understand. What I don't understand is how this is a victory for someone who just gave testimony in a trial. And I think all of this has really been backlashed towards these idiots who are claiming this is some kind of bold statement. I mean, this woman, the fact that she can be propped up like this astonishes me. And it really makes it sad. It makes it truly tragic for the people who have legitimate cases, that here what should be a simple call, a simple open and shut, is just, them dragging this out like Amber Heard is going to be the next person to take out a misogynist villain. The sad part is Johnny Depp, and I don't know the guy personally. I know nothing about his personal life. He could be this total crazed lunatic that they want to make him out to be, but I just have a feeling that's not the case. And they want to destroy a decent person because Hollywood and the media are about bringing down this year and last year. They're about bringing down anything good in their little world, in their stratosphere. If you're not towing the line, if you're not fitting the mold, or even if you are, if you aren't walking their line, that is when they come down on you. And Johnny Depp is just another example of the media and everybody destroying someone and, neglecting facts. So let's go to some facts. Let's bring up an article. I have an article here from The Insider, which The Insider, it is a real magazine. This was posted today at 12:23, and it is Fantastic Beasts is just the start. Johnny Depp's career is over, experts say. Who are these experts? Who are these experts that are saying that a man's career is over from losing a case in the UK? I mean, that alone really mystifies me, because who says whose career is over? I mean, where in this whole thing has he wronged someone professionally? Let's just break it down. Professionally, has he done anything on set? From all accounts, he's a pretty laid back, chill guy, easy to work with. People enjoy having him on projects, and yet, there's this thing that because of this unrelated personal thing that does not have any effect on anybody else but the two parties involved. See, Amber Heard brought this to the trial of the courts. And by trial of the courts, I mean of public opinion. Okay? Public opinion. Most of this stuff is conjunction. Okay? What she says is facts. It's on tape. Him reacting to her saying stuff is also on tape, but nothing I heard, no screaming, no hollering, nothing that sounded like he was slapping her around. And yet they're painting it like they got hardcore evidence. Like, it's okay to slander someone's name without a good source, facts, information, something to back up your claims, which was what the whole lawsuit was about. And sadly, he lost that. He lost something that should have been fact-based. But his career's over. Why? Because the media says it's over. Okay? And if the media says it's done, you're done. That's apparently what we're supposed to get for this. But Johnny Depp's career is over. At least that's what experts say. In a 129-page ruling last week, Judge Andrew Nicol of the High Court of London dismissed the former Pirates of the Caribbean star's libel case against the UK newspaper The Sun over a 2018 article that referred to Depp as a wife beater in connection to domestic abuse allegations leveled by his ex-wife Amber Heard. The judge found the article was substantially true. It's very interesting because back in the day, in the 90s, I could say maybe an article was true. Maybe there was some shred of facts and evidence because there used to be investigative reporting. There used to be looking into things and finding out if the facts were true and verifying sources. And they used to actually state sources that they got their information from. Remember those days when they used to actually tell us where this information is coming from. But nowadays, they don't say that. They hide behind the cloak of anonymous sources, and none of these anonymous sources ever pan out. And here's the thing. You don't have to state your source, but they used to cite different things. They had other evidence to corroborate these rumors, to make it so that there was a legitimate claim to what they were printing. And nowadays, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. You can cite Google. You can cite a Reddit thread. How many articles have I read where they cited a Reddit thread as their source? It's really quite fascinating how you don't have to have any credible sources. You have to have no credible sources at all to build a fictional case about someone. You can literally just pull something out of thin air, quote someone anonymously, and all of a sudden it makes it true. And the sad part is that is how the justice system in certain areas are running. Okay. And I very much doubt, if this was not the UK, that this would have a different outcome. But anyways, let's continue. We have, during a high profile trial, a 16-day blockbuster, Depp and Heard's turbulent 15-month marriage was picked apart with excruciating detail, and the exercise of Depp's toxic drug-fueled lifestyle were laid bare. Depp's career was on a downward trend before any allegations. Depp first found his fame in the 80s TV show 21 Jump Street. He ascended to Hollywood stardom with Tim Burton's cult favorite film, Edward Scissorhands, in 1990, starring alongside Winona Ryder, a future partner. Over the next few decades, he won acclaim for his roles as a misunderstood, brooding loners and anti-heroes in films such as What's Eating Gilbert Grape, Donnie Brasco, and Sleepy Hollow. In 2003, Depp has perhaps been known for his mischievous Captain Jack Sparrow from Disney's popular Pirates of the Caribbean film franchise. Depp was nominated for an Oscar in 2004 for his work on the first film, The Curse of the Black Pearl, and by 2015, with his fifth installment of the series, Depp was estimated earning about $55 million per film. The Pirates films, thanks to Depp, were a jewel in Disney's box office playbook, with 5 movies with a combined $4.5 billion worldwide. But over the past few years, Depp has failed to reach similar box office heights. New offerings such as The Transcendent, The Lone Ranger, and Dark Shadows, directed by Tim Burton, a longtime collaborator, tanked amongst critics and disappointed the box office, signaling the public had grown tired of the gothic shtick. I don't necessarily buy that as true. Hollywood is funny. It goes through trends. That's kind of the things that happen. I thought Dark Shadows was a good movie. Some of the other stuff I can take or leave. I know people who like The Lone Ranger, wasn't a particular fan of it, but to each their own. Anyways, while Depp's films have earned more than $4 billion domestically over the decades, experts said he might have reached the end of his road. I predict his career may never recover. Nima Rama, a former federal prosecutor, told insiders Disney has lost interest in Depp for Pirates of the Caribbean. Disney was going in a different direction to begin with. I don't know why everybody cites that Disney was lost interest, this whole thing. Disney was already talking about, and I covered an article, they wanted to do a female reboot of the Pirates. This has nothing to do with Johnny Depp. This has to do with the fact that Disney is going towards this weird angle with all of their films. They're going towards this very female-centric Disney. And, if it's anything like the rest of their garbage that they're putting out, hence Mulan, which I covered in a review. God, that was a slog to get through. I mean, this is their direction that they're taking in everything. I don't think that Depp being released had anything to do with the fact that Disney was tired of it. I think Disney had always planned on going in a different direction. This gave them the easy out, so to speak. Um, he's going to be the next Harvey Weinstein, right? I very much doubt that Johnny Depp is going to be the next Harvey Weinstein. You would have to go through a lot of hoops to become the next Harvey Weinstein. See, this is the thing that upsets me about these articles. As soon as we get a case like this, out comes the Harvey Weinstein comparisons. Look, Harvey Weinstein was a very, very I don't even know what to say about that individual. Uh, but I definitely would not say that Depp is anywhere near a Harvey Weinstein. Like comparing him to Harvey Weinstein, these are the experts. A federal prosecutor. Why is a federal prosecutor even giving commentary on the future of a celebrity? Can anyone answer me that? I mean, what qualifies this person to make statements that he's on the track to becoming the next Harvey Weinstein? Are you kidding me right now? Like, I love how that seems to be the new metric for everybody. And I refuse to believe that what Johnny Depp is accused of is even remotely close to what Harvey Weinstein did. Harvey Weinstein had casting couches, tons of different things that he did, horrible things, and some, questionable things. But Johnny Depp, really? Because of Amber Heard. One person, you are able. Harvey Weinstein did what he did to multiple women. And I've never heard any other accusations or claims from former exes of Depp. Never heard them come out and say he did something inappropriate. He hit me. He was an abusive monster. I've never heard these things. So where do they pull out this Harvey Weinstein comparison? I mean, this is the kind of crap. And this is our media that's pulling it out, saying, oh, yeah, he's the next Harvey. Yep, that Depp's going downhill. It's ridiculous. This is absolute nonsense. Warner Bros. Wanted to split from Depp before he lost the case. After the trial, I do not believe this. Depp said he had been asked to resign from Fantastic Beasts. Yes. Stacey Jones, the CEO of Hollywood Branded, a pop culture influencer and branded content marketing agent in Los Angeles, told insiders that while Warner Bros. Appeared to move quickly in distancing themselves after the trial, the plan to ditch the actor was in fact very well orchestrated plan built over time with lead into the trial. At first, it seemed the Potterverse would stand by the man who shrugged off serious accusations as another celebrity tabloid rift. In an interview with the Harry Potter fan site, The Leaky Cauldron, in late 2016, shortly after Heard's allegations became public, Fantastic Beasts director defended Depp. In this business, it's a weird old business. He said, you're brilliant one week, people are saying you're odd things the next. You go up and down, but no one takes away your pure talent. In a statement posted on her personal blog in 2017, the Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling said, the filmmakers and I are not comfortable with sticking with our original castings, but genuinely happy to have Johnny playing a major character in these movies. But now, the extent of Depp's abuse behavior is a matter of public record. He's untouchable. If a branded filmmaker or producer employs a celebrity whose names is associated with allegations of abuse, it's often regarded as a sign of acceptance or endorsement. And as the industry suffers through the COVID pandemic, many studios would rather make a safe bet. I find this to be total and utter bullshit. It's ridiculous to say that just because you're accused, let's go back, okay? Let's go to some famous people who have had allegations. What about Charlie Sheen? That man did coke. He was caught on tape, and there were confessionals, and he's even alluded to the fact that he's done crazy shit with hookers and things like that. And the man still got work. The man got the biggest role on television in Two and a Half Men. And yet, now, in this current age, they're saying that if you even are accused, if you are even brought into the court of public opinion, no one wants to touch you because they don't want that near their film. Well, if that's the case, what's going on with Amber Heard? Why is she not giving the same treatment here? Why is she not asking to be resigned from the very company that is responsible for Fantastic Beasts? It's just a different franchise. What is DC different? Are they more progressive? I don't understand the logic behind these statements. How is it that one actor is asked to resign or resigns out of good conscience, but another actor not only is on a sequel to a billion-dollar movie, and make no mistake, Aquaman 1 made $1.3 billion, maybe a little bit more, give or take, right? And they're doing the sequel, which is probably going to make equally amount of money. And then that actor is not only in that movie, but they're asked to go and be in the Snyder Cut to shoot additional scenes. If this whole thing is all toxic and you guys want nothing to do with it, then why is only one actor asked to step away from their role? I don't understand the logic behind it. It seems to me, now maybe I'm just doing some conjunction, or maybe I'm just jumping the gun or jumping ahead of myself, but it seems to me you are asking the male to step back because automatically they have to be guilty, and you're asking the female to stay on because, God forbid, you ask the female to step away. That would come off as sexist. Or, oh, you're giving the abuser special treatment. What about Amber Heard? Has no one seen the fan backlash? I mean, where is all the outrage for Depp being on this project? They said that there was outrage, but I didn't see that. I was on Twitter. I don't see any outrage for Depp being in a movie. I do see outrage and petitions for Amber Heard still being an Aquaman. So how is it that it is okay to ask one party to step away, but it is not okay to ask the other party, who is included in this whole discussion, to step back from their role? It simply boggles my mind. But anyways, the reality is Warner Brothers had no choice in the matter but to bid farewell to Depp, Jones said. Fantastic Beasts is a family film. And a physical abuse alongside with drug and alcohol abuse is a non-starter for consideration or even being played of a bad guy. I mean, these guys are amazing. Though Depp was outed from Fantastic Beasts, he had shot only one scene since filming began in September. He will still receive full compensation because his pay or play clause in the contract means he must be paid regardless whether it happens or he appears on screen, according to the Hollywood Reporter. While the fact that he still will be making his 8-figure fee likely made the pill of being asked, or more so told, to step aside or resign an easier pill to swallow, Jones said that there still isn't easy on the egos or finances, especially with the knowledge that it may indeed be the last major deal for quite some time to come his way. Jones told Insider The only way forward for Depp would be to admit fault and accept responsibility. Are you kidding me? Really? Admit fault. What up, Stevie? What up? Good to see you, buddy. Hey, I got a free spot if you want to jump on and talk about this bullshit. Uh, let me see. I'll shoot a link over here. Uh, 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 but I mean, yeah, yeah, I shot you there a link there, Stevie. If you're so inclined to hop in a bit and talk about this article, because boy, there's a lot of bullshit in here tonight. Let me tell you, it is amazing to me, absolutely amazing. Me reading this Insider article, listening to these experts talking about the fact that Depp's career is over. It's all done. Hang it up. He needs to come out. He needs to come out and admit. He needs to apologize for absolutely nothing that can be proven. He needs to come out and he needs to say he's sorry, because in sin just insinuating that he might have done something is enough. He needs to say he's sorry for putting the strong, powerful female through this heartache and pain of going and talking to journalists, even though she had signed a non-complete Pete, even though she's not supposed to be disclosing this or doing interviews, and agreed to it. He has to be the one who has to come out and apologize. Because he's wrong. Why would he be right? I mean, clearly he has done the wrong thing here, and he needs to apologize for being a man. He needs to say he's sorry, and he needs to come clean. That's what the media is saying. My God, if anyone went on what the media had to say, there would be no one working, because everyone would be apologizing every 5 minutes for everything that they did. It's really quite staggering that these assholes are still listened to at all. This really, they play this whole tune, and they do the whole, they need to just apologize. Why am I apologizing? Look, the concept of this has always pissed me off. When you say something that might be slightly offended, and comedians have gone through this more, I'd say, than actors or actresses, because they come right out and just let their guilt show and pander. But comedian community has gone through this. What they say a joke, and apparently they need to come out and apologize for that joke that they said 10 years ago. Why? Because it might have offended someone. These fools, these asshats, want a man to come out and apologize for something that they can't prove. Amber Heard can't prove. No one has given me a shred of proof one way or the other. What? There's a cell phone thing where you kind of hear him get upset. Oh my God, he's a man and he raised his voice. Oh, that's never happened in the history of arguing. He should come out and apologize for absolutely nothing. That's what this article is saying, folks. They're saying if Johnny Depp wants to salvage his fragile ego, if he ever wants to work again, he needs to come out right now. He needs to admit to his guilt, and he needs to apologize. This is the most ridiculous, asinine thing that I have seen thus far. And I'm not saying Insider Magazine is writing this. They are quoting what people are saying. Analysts and these high-profile people that no one gives a shit about their opinion whatsoever. These clowns haven't been relevant for like 4 fucking years. They haven't printed anything worth a damn. and they want people to just feel sorry because it's not POC. You're not POC enough. You don't toe this line. You're not aligned. You're not kissing the right ass. It's ridiculous. But onwards we go. Jones told Insider that the only way forward for Depp is to admit his fault, accept responsibility, and truly begin reform. At no point until then, she said, will Depp's career have a fighting chance to survive. Fuck you, Jones. You have no clue what you're talking about. Eat a dick. But Depp's lawyers have already announced the actor will file an appeal in London, which he should, and he has filed a separate $50 million defamation lawsuit against Amber Heard in Virginia over columns she wrote for the New York Post in 2018, describing her experience with domestic violence. While Depp was not named in Heard's column, the actor's legal team has said it's strongly inferred to him. Depp has continued to deny allegations against him, as he should. Romania told Insider he thought the second lawsuit was a waste of time for Depp. Depp should get out of the defamation lawsuit business while he still has a fragment of his movie career, he said. The Virginia case is also a loser, like many celebrity family law cases that do little to show celebrities in a good light. You should stick to scripts written by others rather than airing real-life drama in a courtroom. The second case is likely to unravel the same dramatic details as the first, but hasn't seemed to worry Depp and his advisors, who are determined to pursue it. His case in the court of public opinion, however, seems to be done. So long, Jack Sparrow. This is the biggest load of shit. This is so ridiculous. And now I can clearly see where the Insider is heading here. But this is the same thing that we've seen for ages now. We've been seeing the media. You know, let's talk about the court of public opinion for a second. Let's talk about the media. All right. The media has taken a hit and shown their biased colors so many times within 2019 and 2020. Especially 2019, 2020 in politics and the political game. These hacks and journalists and activists, their writing has become so left-leaning, so skewed, so far away from truth and facts and actual objective reporting that you can't take these clowns for jokes. This guy literally puts at the end that Johnny Depp should get out of the lawsuit business. He's got another loser in Virginia. We're not in the UK. The court in the US does not work the same, buddy. Okay? There is not going to be a judge who will just show their bias and throw out the case and completely side with one side or the other. Over here in the US, we do facts and we do evidence and we have a trial by peers. Okay? And other people. This isn't just a kangaroo court. Like your fucking opinion that you guys are given, your public opinion. Oh, in the court of public opinion, Johnny Depp has already lost. Lost to what? Lost once because he is sticking up for himself? Because he's taking a stand like more Hollywood actors should? Let's look at Chris Pratt for a second. Look what they're doing to that poor guy. For what? Because he won't throw his hat in what his political leaning is. So, according to the court of public opinion, we should throw him out to dry too. It is ridiculous because there's going to be no decency left in the film industry. The film industry that we love. And Stevie, you're right. This is bullshit. He's innocent and he should fight. He should fight this verdict. The UK judge, let me bring this up. The UK judge is corrupt. His son works for the company owned by Rupert Murdoch. Murdoch also owns the paper that was on trial. Bullshit verdict. Exactly. This is all not based on facts or logic. This case is easy to see why it was a loser. It wasn't because of facts or evidence or stunning testimony from a stunning and brave Amber Heard. This has nothing to do with it. It comes down to simple corruption and bribery and paying people off. Okay? Let's call a spade a spade. All right? If you guys think that pockets weren't greased, that people weren't paid off, then you haven't been following entertainment for the past 4 years. Since we've hit this trend of female empowerment, of Me Too movement, we have seen an uptick of these cases that go extremely one-sided. The thing is, they didn't expect Johnny Depp to fight back. They expected him to sit there and let them destroy years that he built off of his talent and working hard. So he did drugs and drank. So what? Name me an actor who hasn't. Name me a musician who hasn't. Name me someone with a rough life who hasn't. I'm drinking right now. Does that make me an abuser? No. It means it's a Thursday night and I got laid off and I'm feeling sorry for myself. That's what that means. Doesn't mean I'm going to go out and smack a lady around. This is just so ridiculous. I've never in my life seen such horrible treatment of an individual and such blatant disregard for everything that the law is fundamentally built on. And you know what? If we're talking about court of public opinion, let's talk about the public's opinion. You go on Twitter, put in hashtag justice for Johnny or justice for Depp or, Amber Heard is a wife beater or a husband beater or whatever the hashtag is. You put those in, and how many people do you have? You've got a petition now to get this woman off Aquaman 2. And what does the studio do? They double down on her. They double down on one side. They're saying that it's bad, right? They're saying that Harry Potter is a family film. I don't think anyone's watched a Harry Potter movie. They haven't been family since like the first and second movie. So don't give me that bullshit. They're a family affair. The Deathly Hallows, not a family movie. But anyways, I digress. Those movies are targeted for, yes, a young adult kind of audience. But no one sits there and knows this shit. These people are the only ones who care about this shit. And to compare Depp to Harvey Weinstein, really? Is our metric for everything now going to be Harvey Weinstein? We're going to take it to the extreme. And this is what Hollywood is, folks. Hollywood is the extreme. They are either hard right or hard left, and there is no middle. You can't be in between. You can't be on the fence. You can't not take a side. You can't be Switzerland. You got to be to the left, to their views, to their beliefs, to their system, or they will hang you out to dry. You will be a cautionary tale for anyone who wants to have a fucking independent thought. It's disgusting and it's sickening. This whole thing, this Insider article and the 4 or 5 other articles praising it. Amber Heard right now has to be on cloud 9 that these fucking idiots are out here just defending the shit out of this like she won a victory. She didn't win shit. The Sun won. Where is this a victory for her? The article I brought up in a video earlier was about how she was celebrating and she has to be excited about this. You know, they're quick to say it was a libel suit against the Sun, but then they throw Amber Heard's stunning and brave testimony into it. Oh my God, she's got to be so happy that this man is not winning this money. Really? I really hope, I pray, I have my fingers crossed that she loses tremendously this Virginia case, because what's going to happen at this point is there's going to be a turn. There's going to be a change in shift, and I'm doing air quotes here, in public opinion, to where you're going to now have everybody see the other ugly side of this whole thing, that they were wrong, that someone believed that there's actual evidence swinging it the other way. Oh my goodness, this person is actually full of shit. And then what are they going to do? How do you fix this, Warner Bros? You have backed yourself into a corner. You have placed your bets on a horse, and it's too late. They're off to the races. What are you going to do when that happens? Yeah, that's right. Amber Heard was arrested for domestic violence in 2009 when she hit her girlfriend. I mean, no one brings this up in the media, though, which thank you, Stevie J, in the comments. You know, she's on tape saying this shit. And yet, we have these asshole clown journalists, and I use that term very loosely, already burying Johnny Depp's career. Let's be real. Johnny Depp is a phenomenal actor. No one's gonna remember Amber Heard. No one's gonna remember shit that she's done. But they will remember all of the great stuff that Johnny Depp has done. No one, when it's all said and done, and this bullshit will blow over, and hopefully we'll get the truth out. And when that happens, and then we get both sides of the story, eventually no one's going to see this as a blemish. I believe that Johnny Depp will come out on the other side. He's going to take his hits, and it's inevitable at this point. But when he comes out of this, let's ask ourselves, whose career will really be seen left standing? Amber Heard, from what I hear, is extraordinarily hard to work with. She's catty. I mean, I've read an article that she wants more money. I mean, I misjudged how much balls she actually may have. She asked for more money during this. It's like she's got balls, I'll give her that. And you know, it's astonishing because I can't wait to see when this all comes to light and they realize that they have put their money behind the wrong person. I so pray for this to happen. I don't want anything else positive to happen for me in 2020 but to see Amber Heard look like an absolute awful, horrendous individual that she is, and that they actually expose her for her lies and her bullshit, and that the studio has to eat a huge amount of shit. And I hate that it's attached to the thing that I love. It's attached onto a DC project. But here's the sad truth. Sometimes things you love have to take a hit for what is right. You know? Studios will not learn their lesson. They absolutely will not learn shit until their wallets start getting hit. Until their pockets get lighter, we are going to continue to hear more of these cases, more of these stories, more actors getting attacked, until the studios realize that they're backing the wrong people. Nothing will ever change until they lose their revenue. And this is the sad truth of it all. They have to get hit in their pockets before they know that, hey, we've got to start backing the right people in these things. But, you know, maybe I'm living a pipe dream. You know, who knows? I mean, here I am 44 minutes into this talking about this case, but it's really mystifying to me. It's really quite sad that already here in the U.S., they're counting this as a win. And it just boggles my mind how they can continue to let this go on. Um, that's pretty much all I got to say about this. Look, uh, definitely show what your wallets. I'm telling you right now, if Amber Heard is in Aquaman 2, I will not go and see it. I will not endorse it, and I'm sure as shit not going to see Fantastic Beasts 3. The second one made me pissed off. And the irony about my review is I wrote that the only reason that I enjoyed Fantastic Beasts was purely because of Johnny Depp's performance as Grindelwald and Jude Law. And that was it. I found nothing else about the movie entertaining. It did not have the same magic as the Harry Potter films. I was very disappointed. It was the reason why I got back into YouTube. Why I am at 409 subs is that movie. That movie pissed me off. I ranted at a friend's house. Oh, that video was so horrible. You could see my friend's closet in the background, but I had to get what I had to get online, and my infamous rants began. And the only thing that saved that movie for me was Depp's performance. And there wasn't even that much in it, but he took that character and made it his own. And I respected his portrayal in that movie. And trust me, that movie is an absolute slog to get through. And the way they ended it, I said, oh man, I can't wait to see the next movie, see the full power of Depp's character. He's going to fuck shit up. It's going to be great. And now, no, he's derailed. And, I think that it's total bullshit that Warner Bros. At the 9th hour backed out because they endorsed Birds of Prey like nobody's business. And I saw that movie. Not as bad as most people would say, but, there is things in there that agitated me. But anyways, that's not the point. The point is they were willing to endorse Birds of Prey and fall on a sword for this thing and back all the actors and actresses and all of that happy stuff. But they only back Johnny to a point, and then I'm going to say it's solely because he lost this libel suit in another country that now they're not going to back the person who I assume was going to be their lead in the franchise. If you know anything about Grindelwald, I mean, he plays a pretty important role, and you casted a great actor to do this role, and now you're not going to back your own actor, and you're going to back Amber fucking Heard in Aquaman. You already have your lead. You could replace her so easy. But I digress. What are you going to do? So yeah, it is what it is. I'm done with this nonsense. I don't know what to say. I have no words. You guys can comment later. Anybody who watches this again, feel free to leave me comments and let me know what you think about this first segment because, I did not feel as passionate as I did until I started looking into this and now seeing what they're doing and seeing how they're essentially throwing someone under the bus and destroying them is quite sickening. It's disgusting. The studio should be ashamed of themselves, and I will not endorse anybody who is going to sit there and destroy someone for no apparent reason at all. So let's move along here. I've got another article. And yeah, Warner Bros. Is spineless, Lemon Pie. I agree. And it would have been a great character if they kept on developing. I absolutely agree with you, Lemon Pie. I'm there with you, buddy. I think they had a good premise, and they threw the shit right out the window. And this is what WB does. This is what Warner Bros. Is becoming famous for, is fucking up franchises and destroying good things that they have. It astonishes me how this company manages to shoot themselves in the foot every single time, especially on the DC side of things. And I'm going to be switching over to MCU in just a second, but comparatively between the two of them, and I know everyone will be like, oh, you're a Marvel fanboy. No, I'm not. You see the title, you see the name of my channel. I am a huge DC fan. But in choices, they make terrible choices. I mean, just like my co-host being late.
Oh my God. Apparently, you should have called me half a dozen times because I fell asleep in the chair, man.
I figured, but you missed an epic rant on Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. Stevie jumped in our comment section. We're rattling off facts and talking about how. Okay, so just to catch you up to speed, the Insider, okay, the Hollywood Insider reported that Johnny Depp's career is over. Okay, analysts said unless he comes out, and wait for it, because this is gonna fucking shock you, unless he comes out and he admits that he is wrong and takes the proper steps to bettering himself, he is not going to be able to ever get a role because he's never won Oscars and have uh, immense talent over Amber Heard. I mean, her one role in Aquaman, she should have fucking got an Oscar, a Tony, whatever other fucking accolades you can throw. Fuck, make a whole new category for strong and powerful females. We can put fucking Brie Larson in there. There we go. There's the Brie Larson plug.
It's the Brie Larson Award for strong and powerful females that take money that was intended for a male. Why are you a
Yeah.
white circle?
I mean, I mean, I know you don't follow this now as much as me or Stevie has been, but from what you've seen, and I'm sure you've perused the various stuff, how do you feel about this whole thing? Like, and the fact that here in the US, the media is doing what they do, and they're throwing them under the fucking bus, and they're calling at the end, they're throwing them in a fucking grave, and they're just shoveling that dirt on.
Dude, the media do not give a shit about either of these people. They only care about you and me clicking on their link so that they'll get paid by their advertisers again. That's all they care about. That's the only fucking thing. They only care about making money. That's it.
I mean, they can't even admit when they're wrong in an article, and they continue to do these roundabout attacks. Our own U.S. media is all but praising Amber Heard and acting like she won the case in the UK. Like that was a validation to everything that she's saying. That a corrupt fucking judge who was probably paid off by the person who runs that fucking rag they call a newspaper. Because we all know Murdoch's a fucking trustworthy guy. This is the guy that is in bed with so many shady figures that newspaper is more of a fucking scam at this point than it is actual fucking news. And I feel sorry for any motherfucker where that is their only source of information, because I guarantee you it's like 90% bullshit, and I give the 10% to the advertisements that's in it. That's probably the only legit thing.
I mean, their advertisements, how legit can they really be, guy?
I mean, I don't know what the fuck people frequent over in the UK. You know, fucking biscuits and shit.
Have
That could.
you ever seen anybody use a Thigh Master before?
You'd be surprised how many people think that that shit actually works. Just like remember the those shake weights, and I was
I
like,
thought you
yeah.
were gonna say, dude, I own a shake weight because I got it at some fucking estate sale or some shit like that back in the day. They were like, hey, we got this shake weight. I was like, a shake weight? I've never bought one of those before, and you're just getting rid of it? I'll buy one of those for posterity. I've never used it. Not for real.
I have a shake weight. It's called my right hand and Pornhub.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, okay, all right, let's be real. Just getting sidebarred here. If you guys were up late at night watching that fucking infomercial, you can't tell me, and this might only pertain to a male audience, but you can't tell me the first fucking thing you weren't thinking of as you were watching that fucking shake weight was something you weren't doing like, an hour, 2 hours ago, fuck, maybe even a half hour ago, to your favorite particular program of choice. Because, some people don't always use the Pornhub. They prefer to use other venues. So I don't judge here. Whatever's clever. But I mean, no one looked at that thing and goes, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna get me some fucking lean triceps or biceps." They were like, no one's ever looked at the thing and thought that. I can guarantee you, every male who's ever looked at the commercial going, "Hey, I already do that. Why do I need to buy this?"
We're gonna get some lean and toned triceps after this infomercial. All I was thinking was like, she's making herself jiggle. I'll watch this for the next 20 minutes.
And it's funny too because the creators had to have thought of that because it was always a female promoting it. And I go, well,
Oh, 100%. The only time you ever see the male in that infomercial is for the 10 seconds when they're rolling through the little demo that they do or whatever, and they're like, "Yeah, men can also use this." And I was like, "Yeah, let's move on from that."
I mean, but I got derailed. This whole depth thing, it's a shame, really, on a serious note. It's a shame that this man is getting destroyed. The fact that this fucking article, they had PB, they compared him to
You can't
Harvey Weinstein.
apologize to these weirdos. You do realize that if he apologizes for any of this, it isn't going to make anything better. It will, in fact, only make it worse.
Yeah, and here's the funny part about this whole thing is that they used the Harvey Weinstein comparison. They said he they said he was like, how do you make that jump that he is like fucking Harvey Weinstein? I've never seen Johnny Depp sporting a casting couch. I've never seen Johnny Depp uh knocking women out or during his
Really?
drug fueled days. I didn't
What?
see him carrying a woman out going, "Yeah, I'm just making sure she gets home safe in my bed." I,
But
I mean,
I could swear that there's a new story of that every other day, or, at least every third day, that there's always a story of Johnny Depp doing that. Wait, there's never stories of Johnny Depp doing that.
no, I see stories of him doing charity work and him basically fighting for his integrity. And look, everyone's saying, why is he throwing all this money at these people? Why, if he's so innocent, why is he wasting his time? And they're overlooking the most important.
If he's so innocent, why is he wasting his time? What the fuck kind of question is that? But continue.
And they're saying, so he's picking a loser. This is a losing case, right? Well, these idiots don't understand. He is not throwing money away because he wants money back. It's not about the $50 million. It's about something more important, proving that you're innocent.
No
He,
shit. I mean,
you know, integrity. These people don't understand that because they have none.
I know we weren't gonna talk politics tonight, but just imagine for a second the year is, I don't know, 2017. And they went, hey, you, giant Cheeto, Russian collusion. And he went, oh, son of a bitch. You caught me. I guess I'll quit. Yeah, no. What? You don't just
Yeah,
say, oh, well, one person said that I was doing something bad, so I might as well just admit to something I didn't fucking do.
and while we're on politics, who gets congratulated by their win? And I'm doing air quotes because I'm not counting it until the recounts, but who gets congratulated for their win by fucking China and Russia? Sleepy Joe. No, you know,
Oh, boy.
it astonishes me the two-sided, just so unbalanced how these fucking pricks work. And here we go. We got Johnny Depp being compared to Harvey Weinstein. It fucking baffles my mind. The fact that anyone takes these fucking media hacks seriously is
The
really
only
sad.
way that you can compare Johnny Depp and Harvey Weinstein, and this is a very, very vague comparison, they're both white guys.
Yes. And that's even
That's it.
debatable. Because
That's
when Depp has
exactly,
a
that's
tan, I
debatable.
can't tell.
I think Johnny Depp is a ghost.
But I mean, it, it's just it baffles my mind that that they can even print this shit. But there's no integrity left, so why am I surprised? Speaking of integrity, let's talk about the integrity of the MCU,
Ooh, a
which is
universe with real integrity.
which is actually coming under question because sorry, but Marvel's WandaVision is now debuting in 2021. What the fuck did Disney
Boo.
Disney Plus is becoming the biggest sham ever. First, they charge for that shitty fucking Mulan movie, that epic fucking colossal disaster. And I went on this YouTuber, who I'm gonna guess is Asian because she breaks down the foundation of the culture and everything. I'm sorry if I culturally assumed uh your channel, but I'm just gonna go off the guess here. And she talks about how fucking far from the Asian culture that movie is, and how there's a problem in Asian cinema with over stylizing things, and it takes away from the actual story. And she breaks down the real Mulan story. It's really
No,
fascinating.
man, she's wrong. She's wrong. It's got a Chinese lead.
So, Disney Plus has been, running on Mandalorian fame. Let's be real. That's the
Slow rolling
only show that
everything.
matters right now. That's the only one. Even I got an article for little baby Yoda. He's come under fire. We'll talk about
God,
that later.
do they do any other shows on Disney Plus that are brand new?
Yeah, High School, the fucking
Oh
musical.
God, that's right.
Oh my God, I can't wait for season three. Me and Bitchy will be bringing you another just bitching on that one if that show ever fucking comes out again, because I'm pretty sure we were the only fucking people who watched it. But back to WandaVision, the other, this was supposed to be the flagship. PB, nothing else launches until this fucking show, and I'm convinced this is gonna come out when George R. Martin comes out with the last fucking Game of Thrones show.
They're like,
You're
no,
gonna
no,
get
it's
your
coming out.
show
It's
when I
coming
get my
out.
book.
It's coming
When I get
out.
my
It's
book.
coming out. And they're like, well, wait, we're just gonna push it back a little. And I was like, the fuck is this? The Snyder cut?
Yeah. So Marvel Studios' first Disney Plus series, WandaVision. No, it's not. This article's already wrong, PB. Gizmodo. I'm not surprised. Their first Disney Plus series. This is not their fucking first Disney Plus series. This is their first most anticipated Disney Plus series. The first MCU Disney Plus series. This isn't their first fucking Disney Plus series. That goes to The Mandalorian. Fuck off. WandaVision is coming soon, even. Just not as soon as we'd hope. Though earlier the earlier materials said the show, which stars Paul uh, Bettany and Elizabeth Olsen, would be out by the end of the year. We now know the first episode will debut January 15th, 2021. We're in 2020, so we got to wait a whole fucking year for this and probably every other MC fucking U film. And you know what's suspect?
January. January. Not an entire year away.
It's too far. It feels
It
like a
is
year.
too far.
And you know what? This is disappointing for sure, but hey, at least we know it's happening, unlike the rest of the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies. The timing is a little surprising until you look at everything else going on through the end of the year. There are 6 more weeks left in of The Mandalorian, which they damn sure don't want to run The Mandalorian and WandaVision together. More people, I mean, well, it's different with series on streaming services because you can actually do that. You know, actually, come to think of it, a smarter play would be to run WandaVision with The Mandalorian and promote them together. But, you know, it's fucking Disney, so what can we expect? The Mandalorian that then brings the calendar to Christmas, followed by New Year's. Christmas might sound like the perfect time to release WandaVision, but Disney Plus is releasing Pixar's latest Soul on that day because we want to pay another fucking $30 for a movie. Thank you, Pixar and Disney. That movie is a huge deal, so it'll get a few weeks to breathe before show premieres. Traditionally, over the first year, Disney Plus has tried not to pile big debuts on top of each other. Great winning strategy because it hasn't worked for, you know, Netflix. And we can't wait, especially since 2020 is the first year in decades there will be nothing new releasing from Marvel Studios. Remember a few years ago, people were saying too much Marvel. Now it's give us Marvel, and it starts January 15th. I don't even know how to put into words how fucking stupid their marketing plan is. And I don't blame this on Marvel because Kevin's pretty good with this shit. He's got a pretty decent team behind him. I solely blame this on Disney and Disney Plus. Disney Plus has been a clusterfuck of scheduling, shooting, fucking announcing shows. I don't even know how this streaming service is even considered a contender. I mean, yeah, I don't know, PB. This is I mean, I know that the Marvel slate has been
It's a
pushed back.
contender because Disney.
I mean, but the
And
Marvel
because they know that we'll continue to wait for anything and everything because Disney.
well, let's put it into perspective. Their movie that they're linking this to is Doctor Strange and the Dimension of
Multiverse of Madness.
Madness. So with that being said, they want to connect these shows directly to the movie. So I think we are going to get a surprise announcement about that movie. And mark my words, I said it first. I think that that movie is going to release earlier than people expect because they want to directly tie the shows to the movies. So my guess is
Finally,
they're going to do this show and then they're going to do some kind of promo or it's going to somehow lead into this movie, which will build anticipation for this movie up, which I got to say, There's a lot of cool shit they're talking about putting in this movie. They're bringing in Spider-Man. They're bringing in
I
Loki.
thought they were bringing in Spider-Man.
Yeah, Tobey Maguire is signed on, and Andrew Garfield. Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't really care about that, but Tobey Maguire.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
Like, no, nobody
it's gonna.
gives a fuck about the Amazing Spider-Man. They just want to see Spider-Man.
So it'll be interesting to see how these movies tie in. I'm really
And
curious
yes,
how.
I do realize that there is one person out there that cares about the Amazing Spider-Man, but guess what? I don't care about that one person. Come at me,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah, actually my girl does for some reason. She finds that Spider-Man attractive.
Well,
One of
I
the
mean,
better
that's
villains.
different than like caring about him per se.
No, she thinks it's a great take on Spider-Man. I was like, that was such a forced New
Okay.
York accent. I mean, he had the humor down, but there's something missing. Toby didn't have that
I
New
only
York
watched the
accent.
first movie.
I mean, Toby didn't have the New York accent, but he was charming. He had charisma and screen presence. And I'll take that over someone doing a pitch perfect New York accent and, throwing some quippy one liners. Like, he brought some depth to that character. And him and Kirsten Dunst did a
I thought
great
you said
job.
we were done talking about him. I thought we moved on.
Oh yeah, we're moving on to your buddy, the movie you're waiting for, the thing you can't wait to see.
Literally, that's what I mean. Kinda, that's what I was talking about yesterday. Literally seeing stuff because I had to go to the eye doctor, and then I said, you know what? If I go blind, I go blind, and then you can just kill me. Because if I can't see the Black Widow movie, what's even the point? But that's not what you're going to talk about, is it?
No, I was talking about you seeing the amazing Snyder cut and how it
Oh,
explains the headcanon for Ben Affleck's Batman relationship with DCU's Catwoman.
oh my God, yes. I seen that one and I was like, you've got to be kidding me, guy. You don't even have Catwoman in your movies, does he? Where is Catwoman in any of these movies?
Oh, he's gonna just fucking cast someone for Catwoman because he's got fucking a loose $80 million. I'm sorry, it's over 80 million now. He's creating a whole new fucking experience. This
I'm
shit
just
isn't even.
waiting until they have to reshoot the reshoots. He's like, guys, I just need 10 million more. It'll be perfect if you just give me another 10 million.
Yeah, this has got to be the most expensive miniseries I've ever fucking heard of, ever. Headcanon, the internet's favorite way of mentally supplementing or alternating elements of their favorite franchises.
Oh
What a
man,
fucking crock of
that
shit.
was that was one wonderfully nice way of putting that. What they mean to say is headcanon, the BS way of explaining shit movies you love.
A lot of Star Wars fans love imagining that General Hux would be a cat person. What?
What? Who the fuck are these people? Never once at any point have I went with any goddamn character. You know what? I bet they're a cat person because every evil Nazi needs a pussy to pet.
The media is so fucking bored. This just confirms it. And apparently, the concept of headcanon isn't lost on producers and filmmakers behind things that fans hold dear. James Gunn could probably write volumes, background details that he dreamed up for the Guardians of the Galaxy. Don't bring fucking James Gunn into this. He's looking at this article going, don't fucking drag me into this bullshit. He'd never come out and admit it either, like fucking some people we know in this next statement. As it pertains to the DCEU, Batman vs. Superman director Zack Snyder has some interesting thoughts on the unseen history between Ben Affleck's Batman and Selena Kyle, aka Catwoman, who was not even fucking mentioned in any of the movies. Speaking to a podcast, The Nerd Queens, via MovieWeb, Zack Snyder shared some of his personal thoughts on the trajectory that Bruce Wayne and Selena Kyle's relationship could have taken in the DCU, and even goes as far as to fan cast uh, Car- Carla Giano in the role. Probably, I would say Carla's
What fucking
Catwoman.
name did you just try saying? What?
Uh,
Gina
Carla's
Carano?
not Gina Carano. It's Carla.
Okay. Carla
Gugino.
Gugino?
Yeah, close enough. Carla's Catwoman
Ah.
is perfect. You would have to say there's a flashback 10 years ago where they were a thing, and then he had to arrest her. I don't know what happened, or he had to let her go, and it tweaked him. And now, who knows what she's doing? She's running some sort of international anc- uh, uh, antiquities or something, and he needs to retire, and they can find each other. Yeah, I think Carla is, yeah, she's good. It, is this a scene he's shooting? What the fuck? What does this mean? That's what I was going to ask. It's not often that a writer will come up with a story that gives Bruce a happy ending beyond the bat. So it's almost poignant the picture Zack paints. Bruce and Selena are often depicted as an item in many incarnations, although their romantic relationship is often an adversarial one. Well, as evidenced by Tim Burton's Batman Returns, among other Bat installments. Regardless, it's pretty cool to see that Snyder thinks about these things. Christopher Nolan did it. Literally, the end of Christopher Nolan's trilogy is Batman and Catwoman, and they're in a fucking cafe, and Alfred fucking sees them, and they don't have to say anything. He just gives his fucking nod. Batman gives his nod. We fucking assume they're in fucking France having mad sex, and fuck you because God, she's so hot. But anyways,
They're not in France, guy. They're in Northern Africa.
no, they weren't in Northern Africa.
Northern Africa. No way that they're in France. You think dead Batman's going to France?
Anyways, that's not the point. The point is that they did this. This isn't fucking owned by Zack Snyder. Why do they kiss his ass? They make it sound like he came up with the idea when a director literally did that a couple of years ago.
Well,
Did we,
yeah.
did we
Every
forget the Nolan
idea that
trilogy?
he has, of course they forgot the trilogy because nothing that comes before or after their Lord and Savior has been done. Nothing. They're like, oh man, did you hear what Zach's gonna do? That would be wonderful. And you went, son of a bitch, man, I thought that I seen that already. Oh yeah, I did.
And a better fucking movie.
I mean, it don't take much. That's not setting the bar real high.
I mean, let's just go Nolan and Snyder, okay? Let's just do that, okay? Nolan, we have Heath Ledger Joker versus Jared Leto Joker. We have Ben Affleck Batman versus Christian Bale Batman. We have epic three-part trilogy versus a third part coming.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say epic three-part trilogy versus a universe where they had to split it off from its own universe because it was so terrible.
I mean, and then not to mention, we are putting in the next article, which is the Martian Manhunter.
Like this guy, like why? I told you people that all he's gonna do is take, I guess, excluding what's going to happen in Flashpoint, but all of the characters that are left, he's gonna say, ooh, who else can I put in my fucking mini series to get people to watch? Catwoman? I can get Catwoman. Who can I get to play Catwoman? Not Amber Heard. She's already occupied.
And maybe not for long. We can only pray on that one. All throughout the summer of 2020, DCEU director Zack Snyder gave us a great deal of teases to
Wait a
fans after
second. Wait a second. You said DCEU? I thought they changed that at the DC fandom. Now it's the Snyderverse.
it's the direct, so maybe I don't know, maybe Snyder paid them. Who the fuck knows? People are getting paid off left and right in these magazine groups. Anyway, Snyder cut of Justice League would arrive to HBO Max in 2021. After the story was released, the detailed the debacle of Josh Whedon taking over Warner Bros. Taking over the Warner Bros. He didn't take over Warner Bros. He just took over the fucking movie, and he didn't really take it over.
Oh,
They
no, no,
asked
no, no,
him to.
no. This article's letting us know a little more information than we're supposed to. He's taken over the Warner Brothers because he's got some pictures that he shouldn't.
Production from Snyder fans have become even more excited for this new edition of the highly controversial DCEU team up movie. How the fuck did it become? Oh my god! How was I like? Oh my
Because it's the
god!
only way they can get people to watch.
Snyder has teased some interesting new additions to his movie, particularly with the character of Amber Heard's Mira, aka the husband beater, and Jared Leto's Joker, aka the worst fucking Joker in the whole universe of Jokers, in reshoots for new footage for the film. There's even teases he's spoken on which may or may not be in the final cut of the movie. It's not a fucking final cut, okay? It's a never-ending fucking cut. Anyways, including recent tease of one of the Justice League's most prominent heroes from the comics. In a recent appearance on the League of Mayhem uh stream, he shows a fucking horribly. Oh my god, what the fuck is that? That's the worst
I
fucking picture I've
told
seen.
you.
Jesus Christ. He showed his design of the classic Justice League character, the Martian Manhunter, uh, would make an appearance in the Snyder Cut, but teased the image below showing off the final alien form and given a quote, "That was just a drawing, and that's a tease." You can't even fucking see this thing. What the fuck is that? Why would you take a. Oh my god. This is by no means a confirmation Martian Manhunter will make an appearance in Justice League, although it's a confirmation that Martian Manhunter will make an appearance in Justice League. Although, considering how many other shocking characters are joining the cast of this movie, it wouldn't come as a complete surprise. No specific plot points throughout the DCEU have pointed the Martian Manhunter arriving in full superhero form, although the possibilities certainly are there thanks to Henry Lennox's portrayal of General Swanwick. Snyder has previously confirmed in his own original cut of Justice League, Schwanwick would have evolved into the Martian Manhunter. That wasn't the original. What the fuck?
Evolved into the Martian Manhunter. I really hope they mean that he was always a Martian, but he just wasn't a manhunter before. Because if they mean evolve into a Martian, get the fuck out of here.
Like, did he? They give have so much credit for apparently knowing all this DC lore, and yet every turn he does the worst possible version of a character he can do. I mean, the only thing I seen him get relatively close was General Zod in Man of Steel. And in contrast, he made Superman Batman, and Batman emo.
Oh, I
Like,
thought you were going to say Batman, bitch man.
no, Batman was fucking killing people. You can't call him bitch man. He went ultra dark with
No,
Batman,
no, no,
and
no.
he went
That he's bitching about everything, not that he is a bitch.
and Superman, he made like, Superman, but dark. Like, no one wanted to see, like, oh my God, this is terrible. And that picture, like, what the fuck? Zack, all the technology you have to make things shiny. And that's the picture you choose to go with?
Dude, I told you it was the worst picture ever. Not to mention, it's a picture of a picture.
I feel like there's an oxymoron in this statement. Like, I don't, oh my God. Why do, look, look, I'm a DC fan, but really, I can't understand it, people. Why do they put this man on a pedestal? I don't understand. Why do they call him such a creative genius when, let's rewind the clocks back, okay? All of these people who came out now rallying around this supposed Snyder cut that doesn't exist, uh, they were the same people. And I'm calling bullshit because maybe 2% of you people are sincere about this, but they were the people bitching about Man of Steel, then bitching about Batman versus Superman, and then throwing a fucking conniption fit over Justice League. Okay. And guess what? The first two were solely done by Zack Snyder. But you had these people either extremely bitching about it, the people who actually know DC, and then you had the other people pulling nonsensical shit because Zack put some quasi religious theme in his thing. So now he's this big creative genius, which, when you look at the movie overall, what does it have?
No,
Nothing.
no, 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 no. There ain't no quasi religious bullshit. That's another one of those headcanon things that somebody came up with, and they're like, oh, look at this great analogy in this movie. And Zach was like, oh, man, there's an analogy in my movie? Isn't that
No, no.
cool?
I mean, he's come out and blatantly said, and the movie showed. I watched a person who was ripping the shit out of his movie. Uh, but no, he blatantly comes out and and is like, yeah, Superman's a godlike figure. See how he falls in the water, kind of like being on a cross. See how he falls out of the ship, General Zod's ship.
Whoa,
Yeah,
whoa, whoa,
kind of
whoa,
like he
whoa,
was
whoa, whoa, whoa,
crucified.
whoa, 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 whoa. See how he falls in the water? What does that have to do with being on a cross?
The way he falls looks like Jesus Christ on the cross. I mean, he's come out and because he's supposed to be a godlike figure. That's the big theme of the movie. He's this
Oh,
godlike
that's
figure
right. He's
with
a
the
godlike
responsibility.
figure, and the only gods out there are Christian gods. That's what I'm talking about, guy. He came
Not
out, somebody else came out with this fucking theory, and he co opted it. I will bet all my money on that.
well, the point of the thing, the point of this the thing is, that does make more sense than the other theories I've heard. But anyways, the biggest bunch of bullshit is how creative the Lex Luthor is. And oh, that's true to the character because he's eccentric. No, he's not. He's not some twitchy little skinny guy who's not intimidating. Lex Luthor is scary. Okay? He's brilliant. He's intellectual. He doesn't look like he has fucking ADHD. Like, find
He's
me,
not a basketball player.
find me any fucking comic. I challenge anyone, and I've yet to see anyone provide me with this proof. Find me any fucking iteration in the comics or any other media where Lex Luthor is fucking sitting there with a stupid fucking mouse kind of voice, spouting off some nonsensical bullshit and making rudimentarily uh, easy plots. Okay, that whole thing. Okay, let's look at the setup for setting Superman up. Right, he places a bomb in a wheelchair for this guy who's clearly pissed off uh, at what Superman did to the Wayne Towers. That for some fucking reason is in Metropolis. But anyways, he comes up with this plan to blow everyone else up, and then conveniently leaves the meeting midway, which is not fucking suspicious to begin with, and blows everybody else up, and then blames Superman for it, which Superman wouldn't have to blow people up with a bomb because, he can rip people in half. He's got laser beam eyes. He can fucking go fucking what am I thinking of?
Homelander on their asses.
Thank you. Homelander. He would Homelander them in the courtroom. He sure as fuck wouldn't have to use a bomb. Okay? So the fact that a Lex Luthor came up with this fucking stupid idea, and then what's his plan? He's gonna bring Batman and Superman together to fight each other in the most convoluted way. I've kidnapped your mother. Whoop-de-fucking-do, Superman! You flew from fucking Antarctica to fucking save Lois Lane, and don't even get me started how fucking mystical that was. Like he could fucking tell her heartbeat falling off of a fucking building, and the speed it took to save her would have fucking crushed her. But no, we'll take that out of the equation. His brilliant plan is, I got your mother, and I'll hold her hostage and have her killed if you don't fight Batman, which you can't in a millisecond. Scan the fucking city, go, oh, look at all those people in one building. Maybe that's suspicious. Or here's an idea, stop, have a fucking latte with Batman and be like, hey, bro, we're both being played. Yeah, my mother's name is Martha. Boom, bonding time. Oh, your mother's Martha? Cool. Now we can go be bros and save your mom. The whole
Right?
fucking thing is
Imagine that same exact scene, except they're not fighting. And he goes, I have to save Martha. And then he goes, why'd you say that name? And I was like, yeah, it has about the same amount of impact when you're not standing over him with your ridiculous bat suit. Like, wait a second, you're going to tell me you got to make this giant mechanical bat suit, but then also use a kryptonite dagger and kryptonite grenades. Like you're supposed to pick one or the other here, guy.
I mean, the whole thing is a big convoluted plot that Lex would never have done something like that. Lex has done brilliant plans to turn people against each other and manipulations. And he's always behind the scene in the shadows. He never takes center stage for Superman to blatantly catch. Fuck, even the Christopher Reeves Lex Luthor had a more brilliant set of schemes. And that was and he was more of a jokey kind of Lex Luthor, but he was still scary in parts.
Everybody has a better scheme than anything that Zack Snyder's written. He's
I
not
was
clever.
I was sitting there watching The Return of Superman with Brandon Routh,
Brandon
right?
Routh.
Yeah. That Lex Luthor, Kevin Spacey's Lex Luthor, was even better. Like looking at his whole scheme and the whole plot, I was like, wow, that's some fucked up shit. Like, basically
Yeah, but
use his
that's something
child
that
as
Lex Luthor would
weakness.
actually do.
Yeah, use his kid against him and shit like that. That is a Lex Luthor plot. And he was removed from that. Like Superman knew he had a plot. He spent the whole movie trying to prove what the plot was, but it didn't all come together till the end of the film because that's how fucking Lex Luthor works. You're telling me this twitchy fucking social network knockoff is the brilliant mastermind? You fucking people can seriously defend that to me? Come on. Come on.
Oh, they will
Get the fuck
defend the
out of here.
shit out of it until their dying breath. It was such an original take. It was so fresh. You never seen a Lex Luthor like that before. And I was like, yeah, that's right, because as you would put it, it was Lex Luthor Jr.
Like this was like Lex Luthor uh even pre Smallville, okay? This is like Lionel Luthor would have smacked the shit out of him for this plot. I wish Dan Glover would have returned as Lionel Luthor
Oh
with the
my
fucking
god.
majestic long hair. And at the end of the movie, you just see him go into the prison and be like, son, whap! This is the stupidest fucking plot I've ever seen.
Yep. Oh man, that was one thing that Lionel Luthor was great for in Smallville, was letting you know when you were doing something fucking stupid. And holy shit, he couldn't have put him in that movie because he would have been turning up every 30 seconds, been like, "Hey Lex, that's fucking dumb."
Like, it baffles my mind that anyone can accredit this to some kind of genius or brilliance. It's not. It's fucking retarded. Oh man, I'm gonna get a lot of downvotes on this. I'm getting
No.
upvotes
Why would we get
for this.
downvotes when we're just talking about Zack Snyder and his wonderful artistic vision about some of our favorite characters of all time because he just cares about them so much, almost like he went to the Ryan Johnson school of destroying legacy characters.
Well, I mean, we got D&D in that school. And you got Zack quickly approaching that school. And I'm sure
I
there's a
mean,
few other
D&D,
fuck ups
what
I'm
what are
forgetting.
they working on next? I mean, they'll have a chance at it. I wouldn't consider Game of Thrones characters legacy characters per se, but I get what you're saying.
They were on their way until one season. Just think about that. Out of every season, it took one season to destroy years and years of work. It baffles me. Ryan
Right.
Johnson is
Like I
proud.
would say that season 7 destroyed the timeline because you're like, "Wait a second. You're telling me that this guy can run through the snow at 80 miles an hour? Because I know how far this place is from this place, and he's running through the snow the whole time. But okay, we'll disregard that. The timeline in season 7 is fucked. At least the characters are relatively consistent. Then they're like, ho ho ho, just wait for season 8, fuckers.
Speaking of waiting, some sad news. Wonder Woman 1984. Warner
Ah,
Bros. Warner Bros. Mulls January HBO Max release or a delay to summer 2021. 6 weeks before Wonder Woman 1984 is scheduled to open in fucking theaters on Christmas so that we can be employed. Warner
oh
Bros.
man,
execs
I would
get
go
done
to
with
the theater on Christmas.
yeah, Warner Bros. Execs not only fuck Johnny Depp, but are considering pushing back the highly anticipated superhero sequel to the summer of 2020. So Warner Brothers is killing the movie industry and Johnny Depp's career. You guys are on a fucking roll. or keep the movie in its December 25th theatrical debut and then put it on HBO Max streaming service early July, according to sources with knowledge of the plans. The fate of the highly anticipated superhero film has been in limbo since COVID-19 first hit in March, pushing the film's theatrical release from June to August, then to October, and then to December 25th. But with COVID-19 cases spiking, bullshit, at an alarming rate across the country,
What do you
Warner
wait?
Bros.
What do they mean at an alarming rate? Give me 1 million people, and I'll take them in. I'll get them tested, and then that positivity rate will drop through the fucking floor. Continue.
Warner Bros. Is facing the specter of another widespread shutdown. Thank you, Biden, especially in a major
Oh, I
urban
thought that was
areas.
a James Bond pun.
No, that specter goes specifically to Sleepy Joe. In the major urban areas that drive in the vast majority of theatrical business, a cursor uh, theatrical release could still support exhibitors on the knife's edge of collapse, while also boosting subscriber growth for HBO Max, which is struggling to build an audience large enough to compete against Netflix, Amazon, and Disney Plus. Don't worry, Snyder will save you. In the third quarter, Warner Media reported that HBO Max had 8.6 million total activations with 38 million subscribers to HBO and HBO Max combined. While that exceeded the expectations of the year, HBO Max still trails its competitors by a considerable margin. No shit, because they've been doing it for more years. What the fuck is your margins based on? You fucking idiots. Placing a AAA blockbuster like Wonder Woman 1984 would be the biggest draw to the service yet, which hasn't had a per hit on par with Hamilton for Disney Plus or The Old Guard for Netflix. No one gave a fuck about that, Disney, and The Old Guard was mediocre at best. Considering that Disney stock prices went up on Thursday after announcing 73 million Disney Plus subscribers through quarter four, despite also reporting a 710 million loss, it seems prudent that Warner Media's would be laser focused on driving growth for HBO Max. Wonder Woman 1984, however, was supposed to be a $1 billion grossing global sensation. Any theatrical release next month would pale in comparison, a lesson the studio already learned the hard way with Tenet. With the news the COVID vaccine could be ready to disseminate through the first half of 2021, Warner Bros. Brass are still considering pushing Wonder Woman 1984 back into a summer release date, which, if anyone knows the beginning of summer, January is where movies go to fucking die. That's why they want to do June or July, because you put shit in January. Pushing the theatrical release yet again was always a possibility for WW84. In September interview Variety about WW84, co-star Pedro Pascal, co-writer director Patty Jenkins made clear that COVID was untimely driving the movie's fate. I don't think anybody can be confident in anything right now, Jenkins said. We just don't know what course the COVID is going to be like. One thing is pretty clear, that WW84 will not skip theaters entirely. Jenkins made it no secret that she designed her movie for the big screen, thank the Lord, and feels strongly that it deserves to be seen there. And while Warner Bros. Representative declined to comment on the speculation regarding the future of WW84, they did have a clear statement. WW84 will be in theaters. Bloomberg's first report the possibility of HBO Max release for WW 1984. So, yeah, this is in the Game of Thrones territory. Hey, Jamie Vick. Hey,
What's
Wookiee
up, Jamie
Supremacy.
Vick?
So At
Well, at
least they're
least
not going
I
to pull.
beat her here, so she wasn't able to call me out for being late.
Here's the thing. Um, at least they're not pulling a Disney and releasing this thing on Disney Plus streaming, which I think when people saw what happened with that, even though it was a fucking shitty Mulan movie and not a Wonder Woman, I don't think they want to put a couple
No, they should
million dollar
definitely put
movie.
all Warner Brothers movies on Disney Plus. Wait,
I mean, they're not going that route with HBO Max, but
I don't
I think
think
it's
that they have enough people on HBO Max to make it worth their while. Do you know how many people are on HBO Max? Because I don't think that the number is big enough for them to be bragging, because Disney Plus is constantly bragging about their subscriber numbers. They're like, oh, it's a new month. Look at this record we have. And HBO Max is like, look at these great shows we have.
which honestly I take it a look at these great shows we have as opposed to look at these numbers and jack shit that we have because we push every fucking show back. But don't worry, we have fucking Hamilton for all of the
Oh
people
my
who didn't
God.
see the play. We wanted
Whoa,
the
whoa,
fucking
whoa.
movie.
Like, first of all, you're scraping the bottom of the barrel of entertainment. Who in the fuck wants to watch something that you are exclusively supposed to see live on TV? Like, it's a play on TV. A play is meant to be watched live. I don't remember the last time I ever seen a play on TV. Like, we're not talking about some big production movie. We're talking about people on a stage singing, talking, and I assume the occasional dancing. Why would you do that? And people are wasting their time like, oh, I couldn't get tickets, but I watched it 50 times. I'm the Hamilton expert. And I was like, okay, who to get in a duel with? And they're like, I don't know. Hamilton was black.
Oh my God, that's great. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it baffles my mind that we're at a point now where Disney has they have a great scam going, making people think they have original content besides The Mandalorian. Honestly, what other fucking original content? I hear all these movies and shit. What original shows that people give a shit about does Disney have besides The Mandalorian and The Clone Wars, the final season? Which is, by the way, Star Wars products.
I mean, that's the only thing that I've watched on Disney Plus that was
They've got
new. Like, I've watched old movies that were on there, but I didn't watch any other new shows.
they've got they just got fucking X-Men 1 and 2 on there. Those are movies from the fucking 90s. When Hugh Jackman actually had Wolverine's hair. I mean, it astonishes me. They have nothing. And the shitty shows they tried to launch, like the Jeff Goldblum show and some other ones that I can't even fucking remember because they were so fucking stupid. Uh, those shows are all not getting another season. I can guarantee you, except for High School the musical. The musical better get another fucking season because after fucking forcibly watching that train wreck, I better fucking find out if he fucking pulls off that performance that they teased at the end of the season, or Disney's gonna fucking hear it from me.
I'm sorry. I was reading the comments down below, and Geekicidal Tendencies said, you don't watch a porno being made. Why watch a play on TV? I'm thinking, hold on. It's coming to me. Um, exactly. There's no new stuff.
Yeah, and I mean HBO Max, for better or worse, they're at least announcing new shit. I have a feeling they are going to release all of these shows simultaneously in a barrage because they've already got Titans on a scheduled date. They've already confirmed Doom Patrol Season 3. And I'm willing to bet it's going to be boom, one after the other, leading into the Snyder Cut. And when those drop, HBO Max is going to have those series, not to mention all the other series that HBO OG had that's in their library. They've got The Wire, The Sopranos, I mean, the fucking good 90s shows that we grew up with. And you know what? Fuck all of you people who didn't like the end of The Sopranos. Fight
No,
me.
the
It was
90s was
brilliant.
just misogynistic. We're not supposed to revert back to anything from the 90s. The only thing good to come out of the 90s is Bill Clinton.
And Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone
Nope,
and
nope, not even them. No, man. They're like those are just old white guys who are probably racists.
oh yeah, that Arnold Schwarzenegger, what a racist fuck. Even though he came from another fucking country.
Oh
That
yeah, people
racist
they
white.
don't know what the hell they're talking about. He's definitely racist because he came from, adjacent to Germany.
Yeah, Jamie Vick, that's a great point. She says, well, that's the reason that Disney now has teamed up with Hulu. And yes, I still don't credit Disney with those shows. The Runaways was on Hulu first. Uh, Hulu has great shows that they already had pre-Disney merger. So I don't fucking count them for merging with Hulu and happening to come upon the shows they already have and then shit they can throw on there because Disney Plus is light, so they can't have any of that content. But now they're gonna bring back Daredevil and Iron Fist. Why the fuck are you? Okay, I've got a gripe here. Why the fuck are you bringing Iron Fist back? Okay, anyone who was like me and was excited about 90s Marvel Universe grounded Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Daredevil, and then fucking Iron Fist. Iron Fist single-handedly killed that universe in one season. It was the worst show. It was rushed, and I don't even blame the actor who was casted for Iron Fist. That poor son of a bitch was thrown right in there, and they were like, do you know Kung Fu? Nope, you got a week to learn. Good luck. We'll just do fucking quick cuts and hope no one notices that you don't know how to do martial arts. The fucking female knew more martial arts than he did, and he's the fucking lead. And now they're gonna bring the show back
I
and
mean,
fucking
I
recast.
watched Ant-Man. Ant-Man didn't know how to punch and had to be taught by a woman how to punch.
Yes, but here's the difference. Even in those scenes, he had fucking months to prepare. The dude from Iron Fist, they literally casted him. They're like, yeah, we're shooting in 3 weeks. Good luck. Like,
We need you to be a black belt in 3 weeks. And he went, do you need me to learn the script? Oh, yeah, that too.
I mean, if you look at season 1 to season 2, and I really feel bad because season 2 had way, way better fight quality, right? But had
If you
they
say
given him,
so, I have not watched a single one of those Netflix shows because they said that they were going to connect to the movies and they immediately did not. And I felt bamboozled before I even watched them.
well, you robbed yourself with Daredevil. It's a brilliant show and the best take of Daredevil we will ever see. and bless what's his name, Vincent
Yeah, but it's not played
D'Onofrio.
by Batman.
I don't give a flying fuck. He did the worst fucking Daredevil. He almost destroyed the character with how fucking terrible his version of Daredevil was.
Yeah, but it's got Jennifer Garner in the movie.
Okay, that's fair.
Thank you.
I mean, I can't argue with Alias. She'll find me. God, I hope she finds me. Anyways, but no, you know, Geekocidal tendencies must have been trained by Chuck Norris. If he was Geekocidal tendencies, if he would have been trained by Chuck Norris, totally different outcome for that show. That show would have been fucking 4 stars. We'd still have the fucking Marvel universe on Netflix. Everyone,
Oh,
fucking
if he would have
Daredevil
been
would have been
trained by
trained.
him, they would have had to change the title of the show. It would have been Iron Fist, Texas Ranger.
All right, I'm on my last article because this is a shorter one, but I saved the best for last. An article that's going to hit home for all of us. And by the way, I'm getting this for the channel. Lucasfilm executives defends the Mandalorian's controversial Baby Yoda moment. That little
Yes.
fucker, that little fucker causing controversy. I love it. I love it. Is he good? Is he evil? He's fucking eating people's babies and shit. He's gone dark. He's gone really dark. Like, yo, when a bounty hunter goes to you, no, Yoda, no, that's not for you, buddy. You can't be eating people's fucking children. I mean, first he fucking force chokes someone. All right, Gina Carano gets force choked by little baby Yoda. He's like, "Hey, bitch, we run this ship. I don't know who the fuck you think you are, but you're sitting here fucking with my quasi dad. So I'm gonna have to choke a bitch." And then he's not gangsta. He's still not gangsta. He eats other people's children. This baby Yoda is
It's not,
starting.
well, I mean, you'll get into the article, but it's not a child yet.
I mean, he's walking. Did you see his little
No, no,
yo
no,
that
no, no. I'm
episode?
talking of no, no. You said he eats children. He does not eat any children.
I mean, those eggs. Didn't he eat one? I'm pretty sure one was missing from that tank. I'm pretty sure
Dude,
like
he
she's missing
eats
some
like
kids.
3 or 4 of the eggs, but the eggs does not a child make.
I mean, we can argue semantics. He's still a baby killer.
No, what? Oh my God. Yeah, okay. That's like, yeah, I killed your baby before it was fertilized. No.
I mean, I guess semantics. In any case, if you missed the uproar the Mandalorian stirred up because it's such a great show, they have to try to attack it, even for fucking stupid things like last week, the appropriation of the Tuscans. They're apparently Indians now.
Oh, so this is just find some bullshit wrong with every episode this season. I love it. Continue.
Now, literally, the next fucking episode, they say, in case you missed the uproar, the Mandalorian stirred up a baby Yoda sized controversy. Oh, God, this is Entertainment Weekly. This is fucking priceless. With last week's episode, The Passenger. The episode featured Mando ferrying a new character, Frog Lady. Really? We're calling her Frog Lady? Okay. And her
Yep.
curious container of eggs represented her entire hope for her ancestral line, which faces extinction. Frog Lady needed to get her eggs to her husband to fertilize them before the equinox. Several times during the episode, Baby Yoda, aka the child, was caught eating the eggs, unbeknown to the Frog Lady. Apparently, she's not great at counting.
No, because she's a frog. Like the alligator doesn't count how many babies it has. It just knows it has a bunch of babies. It's not like, yeah, I laid 100 eggs and now there's only 98 motherfuckers.
It was darkly comic running gag, but also some fans are slamming the show. Okay, I'm gonna stop right there. Who the fuck is a fan of this show that goes, oh no, it's not the appropriation of the sand people that's got my knickers in a twist. It's not the fact that Lando fucking killed 8 people in the first episode and threatened countless people. No, that's not the tipping point. It's this little motherfucker eating these eggs. I'm immediately going on Twitter for this shit. In their view, they're turning Baby Yoda into the villain, playing off something the Frog Lady would doubtlessly find upsetting and horrifying as a joke, because frog lives matter. Look, Jesus Christ.
Allegedly. Like,
This is
I ain't never seen these frog people before in Star Wars. They can't be that important.
Lucasfilm creative art manager Phil tweeted some reasonings behind the move Monday. For the record, Chapter 10 of the hashtag The Mandalorian makes it clear the Frog Lady's eggs are unfertilized, like the chicken eggs many of us enjoy. But obviously, chickens aren't sentient beings, and the child is eating eggs is intentionally disturbing for comic effect. Phil
I
from
was laughing
Twitter's
my ass off, so win.
some fans, I want to find these fans, these mythical fans that they make up. Some fans are upset about the scenes and didn't find the explanation satisfying. No one I've seen on Twitter has said this. At least
Okay, well,
not.
just so you know, at least when it comes to politics, I don't know when it comes to pop culture. I assume that it's still the same. When a writer uses the term some people, more often than not, they're typically referring to themselves, but they don't want to come out and take a bold stance, so they just say, some people say.
Uh, a couple of examples. So one person wrote, I'm a mom. It's not funny at all to hear Mama Frog Lady go to great detail about the importance of her beloved eggs that are her and have to watch them get eaten on 3 separate occasions. You clearly didn't watch the episode because the whole gag is the Frog Lady didn't see Baby Yoda eat the fucking eggs. So you're retarded. Can't just
Go ahead.
can't just one mom get to survive and keep her kids? One user tweeted. Another wrote, for the record, the Frog Lady was very adamant about the fact the eggs were important to her and that it was the last and only chance to have kids. So it's actually closer to fucking up someone's in vitro fertilization, which is incredibly upsetting for wannabe moms. It's not funny. Who the fuck are these wacky people?
They're
Really?
fans, allegedly. Because
Really?
fans are upset, not just random fucking people that are watching it, or this random guy that they're like, hey, we need you to write a Star Wars article. He's like, well, I'm kind of upset that Baby Yoda is a villain this week. And I was like, Baby Yoda's been a villain the entire time, motherfucker.
So, for those who are not taking this seriously, folks at Funko have you covered with this toy. And for those who are upset about the scene, this might make them upset on a whole new level. And it's a Funko toy of little Baby Yoda.
With
And
eggs?
yeah, he's got his hands on the canister. I'm gonna fucking go and buy that and stream with it.
That's awesome. I
I'm
didn't
gonna
look at that closely enough when I was perusing through this article. I just kind of scrolled past it because, it's a Funko. So I just, part of the problem.
it's gonna be the first Funko I own, and I'm going to live stream and show everyone I support Villain Yoda. Yep, an adorable looking toy inspired by what some consider the show's darkest moments. Yes, this is the darkest, PB, this is the darkest moment. Not when he fucking shot all those stormtroopers who probably had families and kids and lives and were just, doing their duty because if they don't, the Empire will fucking kill them. No, fuck those guys. And not the fucking people that have betrayed him and all that, or, not the guy who died saving the child, because this is the way. Uh, Rest in peace. No, that wasn't the darkest moments of the show. Fucking Baby Yoda eating this person's eggs who I've never ever seen in the Star Wars universe or even been hidden about that this is a fucking race.
Yep.
This is so ridiculous. Now, you too can play with Baby Yoda as he cruelly gobbles up the hope and future of Frog Lady's family. Yes, I want this Funko. Baby Yoda became Death and the Destroyer of Worlds in Funko form. Wow.
I don't think that Funko Pops are able to do that. Like, what?
This all does, however, raise an interesting idea. Last season, I did a tongue-in-cheek speculation about whether Baby Yoda might turn out to be evil after he used the Force to choke a bitch. I mean, choke Cara Dune. John Farvo has said Game of Thrones helped serve as a bit of inspiration. Holy shit, I hope we won't see incest and shit on the next episode of Mandalorian fucking orgies. It's gonna be rated M++. I love you, John. Don't ever change. Uh, Inspiration of sorts going into season 2. Holy fuck, this season's gonna get dark. I can't wait. It would be interesting to see if in season 8 we learned that the child was the Daenerys Targaryen of the story, and all these little controversies were hidden along the way. No, no, it would not be the same because there was no fucking hint of it. Entertainment, there was never a hint of it. Don't bring fucking Game of Thrones in. Triggered. I'm sorry.
Too late.
Motherfuckers. That said, I don't think Disney would ever make a beloved character a true villain. Guess what? Disney doesn't control this property. Well, they do, but they're not going to fucking tell John what to do because he's making the money.
They're like, oh, we're not going to let you turn this person into a villain. Villains, apparently, according to this article, are in the eye of the beholder, you maniac. He's eating eggs. Like Stone Cold Jeremy said, why are they so up in arms about a fictional frog character? What about real eggs? Why aren't these same people raging about 90% of Americans scrambling up some baby chickens every morning?
They probably wrote this article while eating a fucking omelet and going, "This is horrible. Fuck Baby Yoda, that fucking genocidal little maniac."
You know it.
But I do think the show could toy, so to speak, with the idea that Baby Yoda is more complex than we might assume, and perhaps simply due to the fact he is a child and children are often cruel without realizing it. In other words, this week's dark story choice might turn out
That's what the joke was.
Okay, yeah, to get to that, this dark story choice might turn out to be more intentional than the callous joke that some critics assume, us included, because we're fucking idiots. I ad-libbed that last part. Wow. I feel like every time I read one of these articles about a review, I get fucking stupider. Like, first, the Sand People are Indians, and now this week, Yoda has gone off the deep end because, oh, I'm sorry, the child, aka
The
Baby Yoda,
child.
has gone off the deep end because he's eaten fictional frog people's children that aren't even children yet. This is so fucking ridiculous. I can't put into words. How the fuck do these people write this shit without cracking up? Because I couldn't get through it without cracking up. I
Well, I
mean,
laughed my ass off when I first found out that people thought that Baby Yoda was evil. I was like, wait a second. What is this story? Then I clicked on the story and I was like, oh my God, people people think this is real? Like, first of all, like Stone Cold Jeremy said, all of this is fictional. All of it. Every single thing. These frogs, they don't exist, people. It's not a real thing. So when you say it's tantamount to something, no, it's not. It's fictional. It's tantamount to this is a talking fucking frog.
I mean, there is not, I'm sure in this world, there's bounty hunters. They sure as shit don't have jetpacks, lasers, and grappling hooks. Well, maybe grappling hooks, but definitely not jetpacks and lasers and a fucking rocket missile on the back of said jetpack. None of this exists. We don't have fucking flying spaceships as much as I want them to, or even Back to the Future flying cars. Yes, I referenced that. I watched it the other day with my daughter. She loved it. Check it out. Anyways,
Second
we
point,
don't
why
even.
where is the sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
I mean, but where is the plug for any of this being based in the real world? It's not. It's in a galaxy far, far away, folks, in the future, non-specific.
I mean, where is the point where, or the article, where did somebody write the article saying, wow, who knew that Baby Yoda, the child, was such a connoisseur, excuse me, that he found escargot in a galaxy far, far away? He's like, oh, look at this, man. Unfertilized eggs, frog eggs, delicious.
He also
I've
ate
never eaten a frog
spider
egg.
things. No one complained about the giant fucking spider creatures and how he literally ate a living being there.
No,
That
nobody
thing was fucking
cared
alive.
that he was eating spiders. Nobody cared that he's eating frogs. They only care that he's eating these eggs because the frog lady made such a big stink that it's about her species survival. Well, she's a goddamn reptile, right?
Yeah.
Or my mistake, not a reptile. My mistake. She's an amphibian. Oh my God, she's an amphibian. Okay. Anyway, the vast majority of amphibious species don't survive at every stage of the process. Every fucking
No.
stage. The eggs, they die. The tadpoles, they die. The frogs, they die. Very few of them actually make it to maturity in order to have more frogs. So just think of all of the eggs that she had left. She'll be lucky if she got 3 or 4 kids that she doesn't murder. Now who's the villain?
Oh, very stellar points. Anyways, yeah, I pretty much ran through everything I had. We did some Johnny Depp for like 45 minutes.
No, no,
We
no,
talked.
no. You did Johnny Depp for like 45 minutes while I was right on time.
We had Stevie in here earlier. We had a great time. I wanted to do a bit of a surprise stream, so if you didn't catch the beginning, go ahead, rewind that bad boy, and listen to some hilarity of these soothing sounds of my voice. And yeah, we're gonna wrap it up because I gotta save some steam for tomorrow's, I'm sure, tantalizing uh, program that we'll be putting on. PB, you got anything new you want to promote? Like any new videos on anybody we know?
Anything new? Oh man. I mean, no, the newest thing that I did was the Snyder cut video that I got on Prophets of Geek Culture. And then, oh, I was gonna make a video about Jim Gaffigan being cast in Stargirl, but I didn't get around to it yet. Because,
Ooh,
I'm
that's
so
an
on the
interesting
ball.
choice.
It is, and I have no idea who the character is because I don't know any of the characters in Stargirl, which makes the show, I am thinking, better for me.
Yes, Stone Cold Jeremy. I did Johnny Depp for 45 minutes by myself, and then we did another uh extra half hour with you and me
Yeah, I talked
talking
about it a
about it.
little bit.
So yeah, I mean, there was a lot to talk about. According to the insider, his career is done. Put a pin in it. He's already been accused. There's no redeeming him,
But
and
he'll
Amber Heard is
revive it
acquitted.
if he just apologizes, right?
Fucking these fucking vulture cocksuckers. Anyways, yeah, so you guys can watch that, and also, um, I've got some playthrough video. I use some VPN magic, and I'm playing a game that isn't even globally launched yet. Uh, which is League of Legends Wild Rift. I've been having a great time. It's hard as shit. Very different from going to a PC to a phone, but I'm having some great time. There's a lot of intricate little details to it, moves that you got to do. And I'm also playing mobile League of Legends. So I want to do a compare and contrast video. One is easier than the other, but one has more detail to it. And it's a lot harder to pull off the move set because you actually, have to work on the combinations and shit. So I've been bouncing from game to game, and I might do a breakdown video on both. Right now in Mobile Leagues of Legends, I just reached Platinum. I'm completely free to play on both these, and I'm progressing through both of them nicely. They're very free to play friendly, but Mobile League of Legends versus League of Legends has very big distinctions. The League of Legends that came from the PC charges you no money except for if you want to get skins. And the skins do not affect the character, they are purely aesthetic. New characters and everything you can eventually just get. I mean, if you want to get them when they first come out, you have to pay for them to get an edge, but they all come free. Whereas Mobile League of Legends, literally the skins and everything that you want, you have to pay for, and they do add different things. So it'll be interesting when this has a global launch to see which one beats the other. They're both in the same wheelhouse, and I never thought I'd have fun playing a Moby game, but here we are. So I'll be making a video on that. I'm gonna do a breakdown on some of the characters.
No, there you are, not here we
Oh
are.
boy.
Don't rope me in with that.
Oh boy.
So yeah, it's gonna be some fun stuff. I also got a good response for Active Evil game that I'm playing. So I might do some more videos on that. So stay tuned. Anyways, and definitely some more Johnny Depp coverage because this wacky bitch comes out with stupid shit every day. What a cunt. So anyways, thank you everybody for watching. I appreciate y'all. I'm at 409. Let's get a villain to 500 by, say, the end of December. That'd be nice. Retweet,
Not
you
by the
know.
end of the year, just by the end of December.
I mean, uh, preferably before January. All I mean, even if you
Good
go
one.
like December 30th, it'd be cutting it close, but I'll take it. Tweet, share, invite people over and go listen to these funny fucks, and then have them subscribe, and then have them watch our videos because that's all important. The algorithm is watching. Anyways, thank you, everybody. You guys have a wonderful evening. And as always, remember the only rule here in the fandom zone: eat Frog Lady's eggs.